And when I had all of this written down, I thought, okay, now you have to look to something you can really present as your personal opinion, how to realize this. And I said, okay, I need two things. One is I need some activities in Earth orbit, and the other one is I need an international exploration activity. So the first one is in the public, usually not mentioned, interesting enough. Also, I think it's very important. The second one is, I can tell it already, it's the Moon Village. But the first one. We have in Europe a very nice experiment performed. This was the IXV, a re-entry vehicle, which was launched with Vega and then was landing in water. So we can use this for the future by doing really microgravity research. So we're using the new Vega launcher, we are using a new updated IXV, and then we can do in space microgravity research, we can do some robotic actions, especially also for space debris removal. This would be one possibility. Another possibility, which looks very similar but is a little bit different, we take the Ariane 6 launcher, we take another spacecraft, in this picture, for instance, an American one, and with that one we can also again do microgravity research, now also with humans. We can do robotic actions and space debris removal. The question is now for the other part, the exploration part, where to go. Of course, there are different possibilities. Stephen Hawking is saying, okay, we have to leave the Earth anyhow. The only question is when. I mean, he's right. The sun will explode in about 3.5 billion years or something like that. Nobody knows exactly. So we better be prepared, which is not tomorrow, and we should not leave the Earth because we get not rid of the climate change, but anyhow, it's in our genes to go. And this is the word of a philosopher who can say that much better than a civil engineer. We will not see this from exploration until we come back to where we came from and see the place for the first time. I don't understand, but I think it's a very nice sentence, and therefore I used it. And Europe and the United States of America are ready for that. We are part of the new SLS system by providing the service model. So this is a multi-purpose crew vehicle, and this is the European service module, which will be flying together. And therefore, we are for the very first time on the critical path of a very nice launcher and transport method. And the question is Mars really the next destination? Next, that's the question. Okay, we are going there since last week. We are on the way to Mars with our ExoMars mission again, after we had Mars Express. And I hope that everything will be going fine. We will have also a lander, a demonstration lander on this mission, and then in the next step we will have also a rover on Mars, and we will look for life by drilling a hole in the surface of Mars to look whether there is something what we call life. But to go to Mars is not that easy. If you go there and you want to come back, and this is what I'm always intend to do, then it takes about 2 years. You can make it a little bit faster, but something like 2 years. But the problem is, first of all, this duration. So you remember Apollo 13. Apollo 13 went to the moon, and after a couple of days, or second day, they had some problem. Houston, we had a problem, you know this. They did not say, Houston, we have a problem. They said, we haven't had a problem. But anyhow, they had a problem, but it was solvable by just flying around the moon and come back. If the same happens on the way to Mars, you are lost. Because 2 years waiting until you come back is not really a nice solution. So if we want to land people on Mars, we need a rocket to get them back. So propulsion is a problem. Safety and security, health, psychology, radiation, and also communication. So we have a lot of problems. I'm sure humans will go to Mars, but the question is, will it be really the next destination? And therefore, I proposed, and I'm still proposing, a sustainable moon service operations. This is the serious word of what everybody is calling the Moon Village. This proposal contains now a lot of activities, and these activities are coming back to the original requirements. So it is exploration. It should be put together human and robotic. It should allow moon science. The moon is something like an archive because it has no flowers, no plants, no animals. But it was developed by an impact of another body to the Earth. So it's something like our archive. We can do astronomy from there, especially if we go in the shadow of the moon, meaning a little bit to the far side, in order not to have the radiation from the Earth. We can do fundamental research, we can do transportation development, resource management. There's always a question how to go to Mars and use the material over there. So on Moon we can do this, we can try it already, and we can really develop technologies for that. And there are companies asking for the possibility of doing mining on Moon. Communication is of course important, technology development, but it's also pioneering. It's a stepping stone or pit stop, as I said, and even there are some activities planned for tourism. But of course, and this is the most important thing for me, it's also outreach for science, technology, engineering, mathematics, and for young people to give them the feeling, yes, you can dream something and we can realize it, and this is what we need in the world more than all the other things. We don't need the cheapest new smartphone or something like that. What we need is that the young people are really inspired to work for the future.